All right, it's recording.
Okay.
Here, cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so what's the topic of the day, man? Look at me, I'm already kicking the... Take two. Fuck it, we'll do it again. We'll do it again, we'll do it live. Here, cheers.
Cheers.
But I won't stay down, I run this town, ain't backing down, we going in rounds. Yeah, the guns will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. In the fire now, but I won't be burned. I was waiting for this, and now it's my turn. Sweat on my face, blood in my eyes. Been underground, now I aim for the sky. Don't quit now, you can last longer. All these wounds only making you stronger. Don't give up now, yeah, you gotta climb. Go and give it your all until the end, until the end of time.
We ain't going nowhere. Standing right here until the end of time, till the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time, till the end of time. Until the end of time, till the end of time.
All right, so what are we talking about today, Marcelo?
I have no idea. Just kidding. Okay, as you guys know, basically you know, I mean, your audience. So we're all about how we say fashion, clothing, design, and things
I
like
love
that.
it.
So the thing is that watches are also part of clothing, fashion, design, but here is the problem. When you have brands, let's say Rolex, Omega, Panerai, Tudor, and so on, we know these brands making watches.
Yes.
As watch brands. And then in the other side, we're going to go to Armani, Louis Vuitton, Cartier. Cartier, soon we're going to talk about that, but Louis Vuitton and Tiffany and so on.
The popular fashion brands of the world, yes.
Or Prada and so on.
Yes.
Now, what happened when these two worlds decide to switch places? Because now, today we got surprised. We saw Omega sunglasses.
Right. I mean, we knew that this existed for a while.
Yeah.
Because we saw it on the website and things like that. But, we're inside of the Omega shop, inside the Nicholas Hayek building in the, essentially the Swatch building in Ginza. And we're on the Omega store, boutique, and we see the sunglasses and we get to try them on in store. These things were quite expensive too. I can't remember. They were like
they're talking about
$700.
$700 almost, and some models will even pass the 1,000. Depends in the models.
And they had multiple models, not like just two different pairs of sunglasses. They had like 10.
They have 10
different
models.
designs. Yeah.
Now, if I have like, I don't really have to have even $500 for you to recommend me a nice sunglasses.
Yes.
But for the sake of talking, let's say for $800, you would call me an idiot. I mean, what you would offer me for $800?
I would offer you something that's A class that has prescription lenses inside of it. Because, you got to get your money's worth if you're paying that amount.
No, but what brand are we talking about?
Even the expensive brand that I have, Ray-Ban, they really don't cost that much. With a good pair of Ray-Bans, it's like $200. It's like me, if you get the prescription put inside of it, that's probably like another $200 for that.
And what do you think about the Ray-Ban watch?
Okay, so if Ray-Ban, known as a sunglass maker, as just a glasses maker in general, if they were to cross over and make a luxury watch, what would I think about it? At this point in the game, in 2023, I'm not sure a lot of people would follow them because they just wouldn't have enough history there.
Yeah. And for the guys that actually wonder why the hell it was that question, is almost like to say, turning, The thing was that we went today. We passed through Louis Vuitton,
Yeah,
and we saw Louis Vuitton watches.
that's right. That's right.
Actually, very expensive Louis Vuitton watches, and it's not their game.
I know what I could say about this. I thought about this real quick just
Yeah.
now. Yes, Louis Vuitton watches exist. I don't think anybody that's into haute horology or even just luxury horology is really going to buy into this brand. I think the people that would buy the Louis Vuitton watch are more fashion-leaning people that are more into the fashion than they are into the watches. And they buy it just because the name Louis Vuitton is on the watch itself. They don't care about the movement.
Yeah.
They don't care about anything. They just care about that LV on the dial. They're buying into it for that reason.
Hey, so it's the same thing with the cheap Armani watches. These Armani watches that are
I would
think
agree.
made in China and
Oh,
these
those
Armani-
things are even cheaper than the Louis Vuitton watch. Yeah, I think I agree. It's the same. And a lot of those watches, I think Armani and similar brands like Armani, they sell watches for about $400, $500.
Yeah.
Inside of our world, the type of watches that we're buying, that's really not that expensive. That's really quite affordable.
Yes, but even in our world, by the way, we're talking about sometimes watches on thousands of dollars. For example, today a Platona that is actually we're talking about over 100K even.
Yes.
But even in our world, $1,000 is also a lot of money on a watch.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And you can get an amazing mechanical Seiko watch.
You can get a nice Presage for that price.
Yeah. And it would rest. I wanted to say a lifetime. It actually would rest. It would last up to
as long as you take care of it, and you get it serviced,
And not something that actually we can say about a Michael Kors watch or a Armani watch and so on, right? This watches break. I'm not even sure it's going to last a year, but basically it's toys. It's fashion toys for the moment. Talking about fashion toys.
And that's exactly how it is. You just hit the nail on the head. You said it's fashion toys for the moment.
Yeah.
Fashion is always moving forward and it's always forever changing. Yeah, I think it's in now and it's going to be out come next year or next season, whatever it is. You're already going to have the old piece. Then you have to buy the new Louis Vuitton watch or the new whatever watch.
Yeah, but I actually have a French friend is pretty much into designer pieces.
Yes.
Designer, very special designer.
We're talking about clothes?
Clothes,
okay.
Yeah. And he actually buy things in auction, usually used stuff, but not new things, like a T-shirt from the 80s. And seems that these things keep value. These things actually, some of them even go up in value. And there's still some of these clothes or jackets are even from the 90s and the 80s, and it's still pretty fashion today. So there is things that actually keep fashion or come back to fashion regarding, I think, style, models, and even colors.
Things can come back into style again. Like, I don't know, if you bought bell-bottom jeans back in the 70s, I think once upon a time, come the near the turn of the millennium, right after the year 2000, people were wearing like bell-bottom jeans again and bell-bottom whatever. So things could go out of fashion.
Even
and come
Levi's.
back.
People collect Levi's from long time. Some of the Levi's all broken, completely straps, and it became a thing.
And it became a thing, to now get the vintage jeans with all of the tears inside of them from the old age.
You know what? Actually, this remind me. This remind me basically even what you look today. you look for Rolex Bluesy. Bluesy is actually a Rolex Submariner with gold and steel.
Yes.
That, and here is the thing, guys.
But I feel like it transcends style. Like
Yeah.
it's a forever piece. It's like
Yeah, but also like the jeans.
Yes.
Is an old watch. Is the dial is not perfect. The dial already fade,
fade. Yeah.
and even there is some scratches, and this is the thing, right? I mean, we look
But
for
overall,
this,
that not about the
yeah,
I don't want to say
aesthetics.
not the aesthetics, not the quality of the piece. All the scratches and how much wear and tear,
Yeah.
all of that stuff aside, the watch itself and the design has become a timeless piece that I don't think it's ever going to go out of style.
Yes.
It's
I mean-
always going to stay in style.
Yeah, the same thing I can tell you about. I mean, again, I don't want to go back to the Levi's jeans, but this thing is also kind of timeless
Yes.
in a way. So, and talking about the other thing, Porsche 911 is also timeless. You know,
Yes.
from the latest to the really original models that came in the 60s. This thing. There is a lot of things that became kind of timeless.
Timeless, yeah.
You know.
But not everything is timeless.
Yeah.
When we're talking about some Louis Vuitton and some Giorgio Armani watches,
Yeah.
a Gucci watch, these things made in
Yeah.
China, really cheap in quality, they're not built to last. So I don't even if they could
No, but
stand on a kind of, let's bend our imagination and let's say quality wise that they can survive longer than 10 or 20 years.
No, I have a better
Yeah.
question to
Yes.
you. No, not that.
I don't think they're going to last, but yeah.
No, let's say Versace.
Yes.
Tomorrow, he announced he opened a factory in Geneva. He's starting to make in-house movement
Right.
and high horology of super expensive, high quality Versace watches.
Right. Right now,
How you see this
Okay.
come in the market?
right now they
and-
wouldn't have the history
Yeah, right.
and they wouldn't have the master watchmakers on their team, the dedicated master watchmakers. But maybe given some time, if they start today, maybe within 15 to 20 years, the brand will start elevating and taking off.
Elevating.
And then people will start respecting it more with time. But within the first 10 to 20 years of its history, I don't think it's really going to be taken that seriously.
This is actually interesting you say that because this actually happened with the Bulgari. Bulgari watches was basically, I don't want to use the word a joke, but it wasn't that much serious
Yes.
comparing to the later pieces that they're starting to make,
Yes.
the Extra Finissimo, and suddenly it became a piece to be recognized
Yes.
with. Now, regarding also what you mentioned before, let's say history and recognition about history, you have a lot of. I hope this is okay. We just have
No,
a
we're
sound
good.
now. There is also a lot of independent watchmakers, and this is actually very new brands. It's brands that maybe even was produced maybe several years ago. I think being independent, open today, a watch company, an independent, brand new watch company today with a high horology piece, it would be much more attractive than making, I think, a Louis Vuitton or Armani brand new watch.
Yes. You think it would be more attractive?
It would be more attractive. I think it is actually funny to say that because even so, with the recognition of the brand name as, let's say, Armani or Versace or
Yes.
I mean, this name would actually, or even Michael Kors, you know, these names I think would rule in the potential of the new watch because they already have a very bad reputation with the cheap watches that they released in the past.
Yes.
So I think, and you know what? Even as completely as a joke, Swatch, you know, it's actually funny because we know Swatch as Swatch Group, and Swatch Group contain inside the group Breguet, Blancpain. They actually contain the big
The big boys.
big boys, including of course Omega, and they are the money behind all these other brands. They are actually the big thing. But we know Swatch as the cheap shit, how we say, plastic watches. Swatch, even as a joke, tomorrow they can release a masterpiece watch on the name of Swatch. What are you going to think about that? You know, a super tourbillon high-end perpetual calendar, you know, like masterpiece.
Right. And
Swatch.
Put the Swatch name on it.
The Swatch name
They could do that if they wanted to, but I don't see them mixing and matching their cheap brand with their expensive stuff. I think they want to keep that purely associated with affordable. They could do that, but they would never do that.
Because we know why. Because they understand what we understand, that, you know, I mean, it would not look good. It would not look good. I mean, you know, if I would tell you, by the way, this is a platinum Louis Vuitton watch, you would tell me, get out of here.
Well, I would appreciate that it's platinum.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the movement inside is shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got a platinum watch? Wow. No, I want to tell you to get lost. Yeah, I would think that you threw away some money. Yeah. Oh, daijoubu desu.
Yeah, but you basically would say, yeah, I mean, melt it down.
Right. Yeah, I would think that you wasted a lot of money buying that. So the only people that have successfully transitioned and, well, not completely transitioned, but that makes watches that are respectable, I guess, would be Cartier.
You know what? We talked about it before.
Yeah, we did. We did before we turned on the camera.
Cartier.
But they have a history.
They have they have a history being a very kind of a mishmash brand. You know,
Yes.
It's almost like to say, look, Cartier make jewelries.
Yes.
But then I can ask you,
Watches kind of.
well, they make
It's
jewelry. They
watches.
make watches. They make pens. They make
Yes.
sunglasses. They make even leather items. Let's say bags,
Jewelry and accessories.
and accessories. If I'm not mistaken, I think they even did some dresses, right, for women. I think they have like dresses as well, right?
But I'm not sure about that, but let's just go with it and say that they did.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, it's actually funny because in that case regarding Cartier, you can be Mr. Cartier.
You
know,
could
like,
be Mr. Cartier
with
from head to toe.
everything.
But that
still going to be
that
respectful.
kind of makes a little bit of no.
Yeah.
It makes a little bit of sense. Not talking about the dress, but just from the jewelry point of view that they would make watches, because you either buy watches for one or two reasons. One, because you need a functional piece to actually tell the time,
Yeah.
or you're buying it for the aesthetic value of it, like
Yeah.
a piece of jewelry. You're using it as an accessory, as a fashion accessory. So you're buying it for that purpose. It matches their goals or what they're trying to do.
It match. I mean,
But I don't think of Louis Vuitton as a company that's trying to make jewelry. So that's a little bit more left field and a
they
little
have
bit
a
more
cheaper-
wild theory to me.
Let's go to another brand
Yeah.
that actually sounds interesting. And I'm going to mention Hermes.
Yes.
Now look what is interesting about Hermes. Hermes I could have now a Hermes, of course, bag with a Hermes bag, wallet, these accessories of Hermes. I could have a Hermes jewelry because
Yeah.
they actually make jewelry.
Right?
And by the way, Hermes also make very nice and expensive suits. So I could be very nice dressed now
Yeah.
with a nice helmet. So you could see me today as Mr. Hermes.
Right.
Everything is Hermes, and you would like it a lot. You would say, wow, everything is expensive.
Yes.
And then I would show you a Hermes watch. and now I drop.
What is Hermes more for?
Because they do make
Let me get the
watches
words
also,
out, yeah.
but then now I drop.
What are they known for the most?
They leather usually. They
leather,
bags.
right.
And, by the way, actually, what is funny about Hermes, in a competitor matter, of course, different level of prices,
Yes.
but very similar to La Flore.
You think so?
Because they're also into horses.
Yes.
And they have their horses gear. And,
Yes.
And pretty much like I mentioned, I forgot the name now.
A brand name?
I just mentioned now. La Flore.
Ralph Lauren. Okay.
La Flore, very similar to La Flore. They also La Flore very very famous in leather.
Yes.
So they're basically the same level competition. What is actually interesting is that Hermes became also famous in some very interesting pieces of jewelry, and La Flore jewelry is crap.
I would agree with that.
So this is one of the big difference.
Well, for the most part, they don't even really make their own clothes. I mean,
Yeah.
they do, but they don't. It's an American brand, but it's not made in America. I remember I remember that there was a big debacle at the Olympics. I can't remember what year it was. The last Olympics was supposed to be 2020. This was way back in like the year 2000, 2004, 2008. I don't remember.
2004 was Athens. 2008 was Beijing.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
where it was at, but
Yeah.
it was around this time period, circa 2000, 2004,
Yeah.
2008. One of these 3 years for the Olympics. I remember looking at American news, and they showed off the new uniforms that swimmers would wear, that track and field
They
runners
use La
would wear.
Flore. Yeah,
No, hold on, I'm not finished. I'm getting there. And, this is what America's going to be wearing to represent Team America. On the tags, it says Made in China on all of these products.
Wow.
And I remember Donald Trump was one of the people that was really up in arms because he was so against the idea, like, how could you do this? It was like a slap in the face that it doesn't even say Made in America.
No, it's like the American flag
Right.
is made in China.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Where were we going with this? We're talking about Ralph Lauren.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
sorry,
saying it would be more respectable if they actually made things in America. Now, we was even going somewhere else with this, but I lost track of what we were talking about.
Talking
Yeah.
about La Flore being a French brand, I am not even sure if everything is actually made in France.
Right.
Especially
Oh.
the clothing or stuff. But
So, if they were to go into the foray of making jewelry,
yeah.
I don't see the quality being all that high because they're just going to outsource it to China or somewhere else to make it for cheap.
Look,
Not like it's going to cheapen the actual precious
Yeah,
metals or anything.
And by the way, even La Flore, how we say, jewelry is a kind of a jewelry accessory. It's
Yes.
pretty much fashion thing.
Yes.
They are not really Cartier jewelry,
Yeah.
right? So, could they go that path? Yes, they can. I guess they can. And go even further. I think, yeah, by the way, they do make watches. They are kind of shitty watches, I can say. But I could actually appreciate more, and I could see actually Hermes maybe making, watches to level up to Cartier, that would be perfect Mr. Hermes. You know, you could be Mr. Hermes.
Right. Right.
Wow, that I don't know. It seems that does sound to
Right.
me better.
Okay. To start wrapping up this conversation
Yeah.
a little bit, I can see some companies entering into the foray of making watches. They're trying to make luxury watches to compete with things from the Swatch group and things
Yeah.
like that.
Look,
Yes, go ahead.
no, I mean, following that path, I would, you know, what is nice about Hermes comparing to Cartier, and actually even comparing to La Fleur, but especially Cartier, it does have a lot of history.
Yeah, that's where
And-
that's where I was going. I just
And,
it's going to
the-
take them some time to catch up, and I don't think that they
and
can.
not only this, in our watch world, we know watches as specific pieces of brand and models that go over retail.
Yes.
Hermes is very famous with the Buckley bag, right?
Yes.
That go way over retail. So it's a very kind of respectable brand there. You know, please try to tell me a Cartier, I don't know, wallet or jewelry or what that go over retail. Not
Yes.
something that jump right now in my head.
Right.
So Hermes seems in this spect.
Yeah, I
almost
know what
like
you're saying.
getting
The
that
strength,
respect,
the strength
you know?
of the name.
Yeah. It does have more power.
The strength
I
of the
think.
name Cartier has power, but there's not a one individual product that really represents the brand, with the exception of the tank watch, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe the watch.
They think they have
The Santos?
The Santos.
Yeah.
But the thing is, these pieces really never. I mean, they are very popular pieces. They are very familiar. You never saw.
But when you say go above retail, no,
Never-
it,
they
it
never
doesn't
went.
do that.
Hermes, you know, Hermes. By the way, Hermes create that kind of nose-up prestige of specific items, especially the Buckley bag, that you cannot buy them, and they have it in stock, and they will not sell it to you until you become a VIP customer.
Yes.
And because of that, because you are not a VIP and you want that piece so much, there is no other choice for you to buy that piece and pay over retail in the gray market.
Yes.
Remind you something?
Right. Right.
So, saying that, I actually believe. Look, if I could invest, I definitely would invest. In even thinking about it, that Hermes can be kind of. He actually could have the potential to create watches over retail.
They could have the potential to
could.
create watches over retail. All right.
I could see that.
They could. Let's say that they could.
Yeah.
Here's the final question. We'll end it here, and we'll close this out, this conversation.
Yeah.
I want you to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do you think it's a good idea for the fashion brands and the jewelry brands, let's just say fashion brands, is it a good idea for the fashion brands to cross over and to try to make high-end luxury timepieces? Good idea or bad idea? You give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Wow. My first reaction going to be thumbs down, but you know, the people decide. In the end of the day, you know, here is the thing. I can put thumbs down on.
No, this is just strictly your opinion. You give it a thumbs down.
Give it a thumbs down because
You don't think it's gonna work. All right.
It take
Daijoubu desu.
it take a good taste out of your mouth,
Yes.
if it makes sense.
Okay, it takes a good taste out of your mouth. I'm with Marcelo here. I'm gonna have to give it a thumbs down. So, we're giving it 2 thumbs down. Let's just hope that the Siskel and Ebert estate doesn't sue us for stealing the thumbs up, thumbs down. They'll come after us, come after the Romans who created this junk. But
Please come after us. I mean, it's just ratings. It's ratings.
we have no money. You'll get nothing from us.
Yeah, it's true. You guys.
All right. Instead of saying thumbs up, thumbs down, you give it your disapproval, I give it my disapproval.
By the way, not only what you guys give,
Okay,
thumbs up
yeah.
or down, yeah.
Yeah,
What
let us
is-
know what you think. Do you approve of fashion brands trying to cross over into horology? Is it a good idea, or do you think it's going to fail miserably? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
Cheers.
it's been good. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for watching. If you've just been listening to this inside the background, that's cool too. This video seems to make a good podcast where you don't even really need to look at it, just listen. So if you listen to the podcast, that's good. If you watch, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. If you are like us, if you are drinking, make sure that you drink responsibly. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. I'm out.